Hi there, I'm Michelle.
I'm Jim, and we are Fatigue of Your Own.
Welcome to another Motivational Monday.
Let's get motivated. Woohoo!
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It is.
Cold day in the
It's
neighborhood.
cold.
So when winter is reminding you it's only mid-February.
That's right.
And the groundhog told you
Punxsutawney Phil seems to have gotten it right this year, which is interesting because prior to Groundhog Day, I saw a report about it was ranking the different groundhogs around the country, around the world, I guess, I don't know, based on their accuracy with predicting the arrival of spring. And Punxsutawney Phil is only right about 35% of the time, which is interesting.
Yeah, it isn't even like you can flip a coin.
No, that's yeah. And so as a result, with him, any prediction he makes, you've got a 2 out of 3 shot of him being wrong with that predictive ability. He's only being, 65% of the time he's wrong. Well, this year he seems to be right. So happens sometimes, I guess.
35% of the time it happens, and this is one of those lucky years.
Well, it's interesting. I would think that he would predict 6 more weeks of winter most of the time, because that's been our experience being here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Most years you get more winter. I remember I can't think of a single one where we've ever not had some sort of snow or some sort of cold precipitation and the cold temperatures after Groundhog Day.
No.
In the entire, I guess we're now at 21 years here.
Yeah.
So why Phil would ever predict anything other than 6 more weeks of winter is beyond me. Especially since generally when they do have Groundhog Day over in Punxsutawney, it's very cloudy.
Yeah.
Not much sunlight.
Well, and they do this at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So there's no sunlight.
There's no sunlight.
None
You are correct.
whatsoever.
You're right. Right. They pull out of the hole in the
middle
dark.
of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah. But at any rate, apparently he's right this year.
He's right this year.
So that means we've got a couple of weeks down. We have approximately 4 more to go.
Yes.
All right.
You can do this. You do it every year.
I know.
You don't have a choice in the matter.
Florida looks better and better every year.
Just saying.
There's a reason retired people go to Florida.
There is a reason why retired people head
south. They're tired of being cold.
Yeah. So today we have a quote. It's by Louis Brandeis, former Supreme Court Justice. Okay. He retired from the bench back in 1939. He said in differentiation, that's it. In differentiation, not in uniformity, lies the path of progress. In differentiation, not in uniformity, lies the path of progress. And I saw this quote and I immediately thought of something you do.
Which is?
Valentine's weeks.
Yes, that is definitely differentiation.
So for those people who may not necessarily follow us personally on Facebook and may not necessarily know the story, explain to them how Valentine's weeks came into being, because it did not start as Valentine's weeks.
No, but I invented it.
You did.
Yes, I can clearly say, because I've never ever heard of anybody else doing this.
No.
I invented it.
Yes.
I'm the only one who does it that I'm aware of, but I invented it. It started out when we were dating.
It was BC.
Before
Katie.
Oh, yes, definitely before Katie.
It was before marriage. It was before
engagement.
Everything. It was.
We were dating, and is one of those rare times I actually had a girlfriend during Valentine's Day. That's a whole different story.
You may wonder why.
I'll tell that story some other time. And I liked her.
Really?
Yes, I did.
That's nice.
I know. And so I decided what could I do to really be different here? Because the thing about Valentine's Day is I actually look at Valentine's Day as I think a better term for it would be obligatory gift giving day, just because it's the one time of the year that guys are fully expected. They've got to get a gift, jewelry, flowers, candy, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. They're obligated, because what happens if a guy forgets, doesn't do it, he's going to hear about it, and it's not going to be pleasant. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, that, everybody gives a gift on Valentine's Day, at least the smart ones do. But I wanted to be different. And I hit upon this idea of, what if and she was working at the time. I don't remember where you were working.
I was at Air Savannah.
Okay. And I hit upon the idea of, what? I'm going to send something to her office on the 12th, on the 13th, and the 14th. Because the year it also lined up where all 3 days were weekdays.
Yes, they were. Kind of like this year.
Kind of like this year, yeah. It worked out this year. And so that's what I did. I had something sent to her on the 12th. And were you surprised when you got it?
I was.
Very surprised, I'm betting.
If I remember right, it was the stuffed bear.
Was it the bear on the first day? I don't remember.
I think it was the bear on the first day.
And everybody else that you worked with, what did they say?
They're like, ooh, that's different.
Uh-huh. And what happened the next day?
The flowers arrived.
Oh, yeah. And what did everybody say?
Oh, that's very pretty.
And then what happened on the 14th?
You took me to the Pink House for dinner.
Did I?
You did.
Oh, okay.
You don't even remember.
No, I don't. I just remember 3 days of gifts.
So in Savannah, back in the day, the Pink House was actually one of probably the nicest restaurants there in town. And you've gotten us reservations for the Pink House, and nice table, excellent meal. Yeah.
And when everybody found out you were going there, same thing. A lot of people. Of course, also a lot of guys going, oh crap.
Yes. So part of the reason you were trying to differentiate yourself, I'm guessing.
Yes, I was. I was trying to set myself completely apart, because I knew that I had just done something that no other guy has done, or that I'm aware of.
And
that walks around talking about it, because I walk around talking about it.
At the time, you needed to differentiate yourself from other suitors who were out there.
That is correct. Yes. Did it work?
Well, we're married.
Been married for 27 years, so I guess it worked. Yeah.
And the other women and some of the men that I worked with noticed.
Oh, yeah.
So it did indeed differentiate you from other people.
Right. And then from there, it expanded to a week. But that was after we were married. Yes. So just decided,
and then
3 days is good. Let's do a week.
And
then it expanded into 2 weeks.
Yes.
And so now we celebrate Valentine's weeks,
yes,
which is different.
Yes, it is.
Nobody else that I'm aware of does that.
No.
Every time I mention it anywhere, people look at me like I'm strange. You do what?
And the gifts aren't extravagant.
No.
They're small reminders. And you tend to lock into an idea.
Yes.
And then expand that over the weeks. One of my favorite years was the year of socks.
Oh, that's right.
I still have
that's
probably
right.
4 or 5 pairs of Valentine
socks. That's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Super cheap. You can go to, the dollar store, Dollar Tree, get Valentine socks.
That's right. You needed some socks, and every day you got another pair of Valentine's Day socks. Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that.
The year of the chocolate covered fortune cookies.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good year. When I traveled for work, that threw you for a loop because you didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I was always surprised that you didn't figure out how to get stuff delivered to me. Because that would have truly differentiated you.
True, but that also would have been prohibitively expensive.
No more expensive than getting flowers delivered to work to begin with.
Well, no, but when you talk about 2 full weeks of doing that.
Well, no, you just do it one of the days, and then where I'm at would be like, wait, what? Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I could have done that, but yeah.
However, the whole point of this was it made you different from everybody else.
Right.
And in the quote that we're talking about, he talks about differentiation and how that is your path of progress, how that's your path leading forward,
right? How
that's how you can be successful.
Right. What's interesting about that is, when you think about when you were in school, everybody wants to be the same. Yes. You want to be part of the group. Yes. So they dress the same way, they do the same things, not realizing that later in life that was not going to serve them very well. That the key is you have to figure out ways to set yourself apart. And that's one of the interesting things when you look at people, and I observe everybody.
Yes, you do.
Just what I do.
You like people watching.
I do like people watching.
That's why you go to Walmart.
Yes. Walmart and lots of other places. Yes. I like to watch people. I like to watch kids. I like to watch what they do. It's because they haven't changed from when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. They still do the same exact thing. And it's a case of everybody wants to be accepted into the group. And they don't understand that later on in life, the way that they're going to succeed is to stand out from the group. So I'm always reminded of the time with Jeffrey when he was on the soccer team in high school. And he got to play some, but not a whole lot. And he asked me one day, Dad, what can I do to, improve my chances of being able to play more? And I had to pick him up from soccer practice every day. And I told him, I said, you need to find a way to stand out. Mm-hmm. Okay. The way you are right now, you're just part of the mass. I said, the coaches, they don't notice that. They don't notice it when you're just in the pack.
Right.
They noticed the people who are, especially at the end of practice, because every sport I've ever been in, every coach has always done this. You finish up and it's take a lap. Don't understand why you necessarily need to in some sports, but that's what they would do. Mm-hmm. And I would tell him what the coaches are looking for are the kids who are just hauling buggy out in front of everybody. They come around as fast as they can. One, because they want to show how fast they are. Two, because they want to get done. It's the thing about going fast. You get there fast, you're finished.
You're finished.
But they're also looking at the ones who are trailing behind. They're differentiating themselves too, but not in a good way. And those are the ones that they know, I got to work on that kid. I got to do something with them. Yeah. Or that kid's not going to play because they're not very motivated. I don't see it. Jeffrey always ran in the middle of the pack because every time you see that, if you ever watch after practice, you'll see a few people way ahead of everybody. Mm-hmm. You'll see some people trailing behind, and then you'll see a blob. Mm-hmm. You'll see the mass. And the thing about being in that mass is all of those kids, they don't want to be noticed or to stand out because, especially the kids who are trailing, sometimes coaches make them run another lap or they'll make them do something else. They single them out somehow. And so I told him, I said, next practice, when it's time to run that final lap, run as hard as you can. So I pulled up and I'm sitting there waiting for them at next practice. And they get finished and coach tells them, take a lap. And what happened?
He didn't run fast.
He didn't run fast.
No.
He
didn't run slow.
He didn't run slow, but he was right in the middle of the pack again. And he got to the car and I asked him, I said, why were you in the middle of the pack? I told you to run real fast, run as fast as you can, as hard as you can, dig it out. Because that's what they want to see, that you've got that, you still have that energy at the end. You have that desire to want to push and push and push, because that's what they look for in players. I said, you didn't do it. I said, why? He said, oh, because I was tired and I just wanted to be in the middle and, so the coaches wouldn't single me out. It's like,
Okay.
And I knew at that point there was no sense. I didn't tell him, but you need to change that and do that. There was no point. He made up his mind. He had made up his mind that he was going to be part of the pack, that he was not going to differentiate himself from everybody else.
Yep.
That's how you succeed.
Yes.
Stand out like a sore thumb. Somebody said that to me the other day at work. They said, you stand out like a sore thumb. And I think I know why, and it's positive. It's a good thing. But it is interesting when you get feedback, unsolicited feedback like that. Somebody tells you that around here you are very different, and everybody notices.
You are different.
Yeah, I know I'm different.
Yeah.
I've been different for a long time. It's good different.
All right. So the whole point of all this is stand out.
Stand out.
Be different. Differentiate yourself.
Don't be afraid to toot your own horn too.
No. And make sure people understand how you're different,
right.
Why you're different, and how that benefits them. Because that's the other thing. Because people want to know what's in it for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're different, great. Why should I care that you're different? And that's one of the things that people have to be able to share.
Right.
They have to have a message of how them being different will benefit.
Right, because you want to be different in a good way, not different in a bad way. Because you can differentiate yourself in a very, very bad way. I see that all the time. Differentiate yourself in a positive way. And like Michelle said, then, let people know how that difference that you bring to the table is going to benefit them. Some people will figure it out fast. They'll see it. They'll understand. Sometimes it's something as simple as being the only person with a positive attitude is a sea of negativity. Then it's easy to stand out. Of course, the key there is you just have to make sure that negativity, that sea of negativity you're standing in, doesn't start to drag down your attitude. So,
yes. If you need help figuring out how you could differentiate yourself from others, who could they reach out to?
That'd be us.
They could reach out to us. And how could they reach out to us?
Well, you could give us a phone call, 412-420-7975. We'll talk to you if you call us. If you don't want to call and talk on the phone, send us a text message. We'll respond and then probably set up a time so we can make a phone call and talk to you. That or a Zoom meeting or something like that. You can also send us an email, info@atigaofyourown.com. You can go to our website, conveniently called atigaofyourown.com. So keeping with that theme, it's amazing. Also, we're on social media. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and we have a YouTube channel. You can go there and see all of these videos from the last, 5 years, almost 5 years? Almost 5 years. If you do, please like and subscribe.
All right. So differentiate yourself. And
go out there and be different. Dare to be different.
Exactly. Do not listen to Weird Al and don't dare to be stupid.
Don't dare to be stupid.
Dare to be
different. Yes.
All right. So go out there, be different, differentiate yourself in a positive way. Let people know how that can benefit them. And we will see you next week.
Bye,
everyone.